Yeah, so that's going to be that, as we should be getting underway now. And we are going to be seeing Team Infused. They go over towards the T side. CAZ Esports starting on the CT side. And while looking at the buy here, it's a fairly standard buy for Team Infused. You know, armor across the board almost. Mighty Max picking up a little bit of utility for his team. And, you know, let's see what they can make come into fruition with that. It's looking like A is going to be the site here, as most of the players kind of stacked over towards there. You've got a few down towards Pop as well, exerting a little bit of pressure onto B early on to, you know, not allow any sort of push to come out from CAZ, with the rest of the team opting to stay over towards A main. Just, you know, holding tight, sitting pretty, and not giving CAZ any sort of opening picks into this round.
Yeah, they really don't want to be making it too easy, and so we're not going to be seeing too much done, but as you said, it does look like there's a heavy presence towards that A site right now. You can see the couple of players stacked over towards B are pretty much favoring it in total. Mighty Max keeping an eye on the ladder there near Pop Dog, making sure nobody comes there. Pulse and Connor obviously working through T-main, making sure they clear out those angles, but still fairly slow round. They've got themselves set up, and it's going to be much the same as last game. We're going to be seeing a push at about 40 to 30 seconds. Not much time left on the board, and actually that's worrying for them, because if CAZ can drop the bomb carrier, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've only got 35 seconds left. They've got to make a push out onto the site now. It's going to be coming in as Pulse gets one. Boast is going to come in with one of his own, though, with the USP. Jacob gets one as well. Comes in with two, makes it three, and that's going to be the hat-trick already on the board for him. Now it's all going to fall into Aaron, and 22 seconds left. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place here as CAZ Esports. They're coming in from all sides, and Jacob completes it with the fourth. And that does mean the first round is going to go the way of CAZ Esports here. And, well, you know, a triumphant start up for them, as it does go 1-0. So we're only seeing a nice buy coming in now, and you know, a few MP7s and MP9 and whatnot from us across the you know, Shaq and Boaster. So they've got a little bit of long range stuff, they've got a little bit of close range stuff, a nice mixture. Team Infused, they're going to be opting to go onto the you know, Force here. Of course, they didn't get the plant down, so they're not going to have a lot of money to work with. They can't do that third round buy. And it's looking like A might be the site in question once again as they stack up towards the A main. It seems like it's going to be a similar strategy, perhaps a little bit faster here. But CAZ, they've read this well. They've already got 4 players over there. They're leaving Shaq in the connector area to play a fast rotate. Boaster's going to start things off as he gets one. He manages to make it 2. Aaron chimes in with one of his own, but Shaq is able to get the kill, and Cryptic's in with the spray down for a nice little double kill there. Does manage to take things 2-0. So CAZ Esports, a very, very fast and flawless round there for them, and that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, for me, I'm still just sort of trying to figure out what the plan was there. They had a single smoke to get themselves out onto the A site, and that's more where you're going to be looking to see what you can do with maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 smokes to block off those multiple angles. If you just want to get the bomb down, if you want to do what you can with very little, B site is where you're going to be going, and we're going to be seeing that in this round, which I assume is going to be a little bit more successful. Essentially on B site, what you can expect is you'll find the site, you'll get that bomb down. It's holding off the retake that's going to be the difficult bit, but in this situation, do they care about that? No, they don't. They just want the money. Issue is they don't have a huge amount to do with it. It's not going to be the same as last round. They don't have the armor. They don't have sort of the same heavily upgraded pistols, the utility, everything, so they have to be careful. And as Robin picks off Weber, their plans are thwarted, and they have to fall all the way back, reevaluate, and essentially reset to go A again. I can't imagine it's going to be more successful than the last 2.
Yeah, well, if you ever played the old Far Cry games, the definition of insanity is just doing the same thing again and again, but expecting different results, and that's what Team Infused are going to be doing here. Jacob playing the close angle with the PT-50, does find one. Boaster gets one of his own. Jacob coming in from behind here with a very huge play as he manages to make it 3 once again with the hat trick. And, well, I mean, so far, he's only really invested in that PT-50, and it's done so much work for him. If we just quickly go over as well, we can have a look and see where we're kind of standing with this, providing our brackets are working, which hopefully they are. Because, of course, this is going to be the consolidation match of today. And as it stands, I mean, whoever wins this, they're going to be facing off against XPC, aren't they? So that'll make for an exciting final. May the best team win. I mean, hopefully we can see that happening today. Of course, Team Infused did take the first. I feel like CAZ are probably the favourites going into this. So naturally, Infused taking that first map was a huge deal. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I mean, I think a lot of people did. They're an extremely strong mix, and on Dust 2, you can sort of expect them to do well. Train, I think there's a couple more doubts.
Yeah.
My sort of logic in this is I feel CAZ might be able to do it. If they can perform sort of at top level, I feel this should be theirs, because just based off yesterday alone, we saw them come much closer against XPC on one of the maps. We saw them put in a good showing there. We saw them at Masters do extremely well, and Honestly, I don't know. I just believe it in my heart, but still, it's going to be close. I reckon we're going to be seeing all 3 get played out here.
Yeah.
And
no, that wouldn't
just for that
surprise
alone,
me.
a 3-map series finally is something to get excited about.
Yeah, indeed. And, well, Team Infused, they're going to be trying again and execute here as they do get those smokes out onto the site, but Jacob's going to start things up for the AWP. He's unable to land that second shot, so he is going to get traded down by Pulsar. That's going to put it into a 4-on-4 here. And while the push is underway onto the site, the smokes are going to allow this plant to go down with very little contention. But Shaq doing all he can as he does take down one. Robin comes in with another with that MP7 from Connector. So now it's going to get put into a 2-on-4 to try and defend this plant. Shaq in with a really nice trade frag there as his teammate does get taken down by Connor. But Connor has managed to pick up 2 now. And, well, Robin putting that MP7 to good use does manage to pick him up. No questions asked. And, I mean, you know, I think it was a little bit closer than CAZ would have liked in that round. But overall, I mean, a round win is a round win. If we go ahead and bring up the economy, actually, we can see that CAZ, they are getting a nice bit of bank together. I mean, it's not the most just yet, being only 4 rounds in, but they've got a lot of these flawless rounds where they've just been building up that economy. And, I mean, you know, when you let a team, especially on the CT side, run away with something like that, it can spell disaster for the for Team Infused.
Yeah, it definitely can be tricky for them to deal with. I think we're going to be seeing the results of that into this round. They're very low on utility. They do have a little bit, but if we see the round being drawn out, if we see CAZ delaying them for a little bit of time, you know, burning their utility up, then what are Infused going to have left to execute with? Not a whole lot. And unfortunately, past the execute, what are they going to have to hold off the retake with? Not a whole lot. You already sort of feel sorry for them because they are a mixed team on train, which is already going to be difficult enough. Obviously, they do have experience playing with one another, but without strats, without that sort of familiarization, without the practice and the drilling that teams will have,
yeah,
you're going to be having a much tougher time. Dust 2, pug it out, rely on your frags, do all of that. Train, maybe, but definitely not as easy. And obviously, you'd be expecting them to do better on their T side. So I would sort of expect them to step up soon because CT on train without that level of coordination is going to be something just completely different.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. And, well, as we do see Team Infused slowly edging their way into the A site, Pop Flash is going to come in. That's going to allow Weber to pick up a nice opening frag, but not before Robin chimes in with one of his own. Weber makes it 2, and that means that bomb's going to be going down over towards the B site. Now, the rotate's coming in, and it was fairly fast as well, thanks to the positions being played over towards A. But Pulse, he doesn't care for rotated. He does pick one up on a boaster. Jacob comes in with an 8 Cryptics as well with the M4, and in the blink of an eye, it's all going to fall on a corner here. He has managed to get himself up into the upper levels, and, well, he's got a Molotov to delay that defuse as much as he can, just having to play for time here. Smoke's going to go down. He knows they're defusing it right now. He sprays through. Can he make the shots connect? He gets one. He runs out of ammo, and he might be able to get it. Connor, he manages to get it in the last couple of seconds there. We were so close to seeing that defuse come in. Oh, my God, I keep stumbling over everything. That's the way it is, isn't it, with words? If you stumble over the first couple, then, you know, the subsequent ones, they just go down as well. Once you start stumbling, you just have to fall and then pick yourself back up. But, yeah, Team Infused, they do get their first round on the board. And it was about time, I feel, like you say.
Yeah, no, they're getting things started off. The issue is they now have to continue as they started because otherwise they're going to be finding themselves right back down in the dumps. Obviously, 2 of their players had to spend everything they have and a couple more are sat on $50 and $100. So this one has to go their way. But to start it off, it's looking good. Aaron manages to find a frag onto Shaq. Weber takes Boaster out as well before Cryptics can come in and clean up for CAZ. Finally manages to trade things back and actually takes it to the advantage for the CTs as we see the retake being gone for him. He's still alive, he's still a threat, and he is still going to be doing damage, and indeed he is. Weber on top of the train, taken down in a matter of moments, and Cryptics still hunting for Mighty Max, looking to see what he can do for the ace, and indeed he finds it. Not the flashiest thing ever, but obviously it is still so important. It's an economic reset. It's a round on the board. It's a chance for CAZ to push this lead out further and further, potentially find themselves 6, 7 rounds, and all off the back of the one man.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was fairly ridiculous. Like we say, it wasn't the flashiest ace we've seen, but it was definitely one that CAZ Esports needed. I mean, they went 2 men down very early on, and then thanks to Cryptics, they basically locked in that entire round. Courtesy of him. Now, a bit of a change of pace here from CAZ as they actually push with an aggressive play. That's going to be Jacob down in that pop dog area all alone. It's going to be on the other side of the smoke, I believe, just trying to play around it. Isn't going to be able to find anyone just yet, but Bomb is nearly up the ladder from it. So, you know, potential for something to happen here. Chak over towards B is going to be able to spot out the head of Aaron any minute now. And, well, it's not where you want to be on the receiving end of Chak's Famous, and he does get taken out at 26 HP. So that's going to give an early round advantage over towards CAZ. I mean, they already have, you know, weapon superiority, and now they have got a HP advantage as well to boost. And, well, with a minute left on the clock, Team Infused, they've got to think about doing something sooner rather than later. They don't want to leave themselves with no time as they head out into the site. They've still got plenty of time left. But we have seen that they do sometimes leave it a little bit too close. Push is going to be coming out away. Boaster gets one. Now he's going to be playing his close angle with the UMP. It's not where you want to be against the Pistols. Cryptic's trying to keep their team covered, but it's not going to be enough. And Connor does manage to take him. Cryptic's gets two. He's being the star player right now, but he's finally going to get taken down by Mighty Max. As the trade frag does come in sooner rather than later. Robin shooting his teammate a little bit there. Not really sure that's what he intended to do, but he did anyway. And now it's all going to be on to Aaron. 8 HP. A Deagle and a Dream is all that's going to be able to carry the remaining Team Infused member through this, but it's not going to happen as Jacob comes in from the blue train there, does manage to pick him up, and it's going to go 6-1. So CAZ Esports now with a fairly convincing lead, 5 rounds over their predecessors, Team Infused. So, I mean, a good start, I feel, to this first half for them.
Yeah, very good start indeed, and obviously they're just looking to push it further and further at the moment. We're going to be seeing Team Infused coming in with another buy, but again, it's weak. This time there's more utility behind it, but there's a Galil on Pulse, and they've still had to invest everything once again. So, you know, they lose this, they're back down to the position where, yeah, they can buy, but it's going to be no utility instead of what little they have at the moment, which I feel is why we're seeing them go for the smokes onto A. It's to get the bomb down, and sending it out of Pop's going to allow them to do that much more easily, as long as CAZ don't take the advanced positions. But Jacob has, Boaster has, and they're going to be finding frags between them. Shaq's up on high, looking to see what damage he can do as well, and if nothing else, just holding them off the bomb train. And it's going to be a 2 versus 3, so a disadvantage situation from the start. As soon as that bomb starts to go down, I reckon CAZ are going to kick into gear and really start hunting for the frags. And until then, they don't really have any pressure to move. They're all playing fairly laid-back positions where they can't really get picked off, and Infused, they have to worry about them. They have to worry about the positions they're going to be in. They have to worry about where they can be seen when planting, and it's a lot to think about when really they're working on 0 information.
Yeah, no, they're not getting the information early on, and it's proven to be a bit of an issue for Team Infused. As well as that, you know, you've got the skill, of course, on CAZ and Team Infused. It is fairly similar, I would say. I think that's something we've kind of agreed on, is that both of these teams come into this with almost an equal opportunity at victory. However, CAZ Esports, they do find themselves being, you know, an actual team, unlike, like you say, Team Infused, where perhaps the skill might be higher on an individual level, but they are just a mixed team at the end of the day, something that you've said quite a fair bit, and we've kind of drummed in on, especially on a map like Train, where you need that extra level of practice and form and communication from your team. And potentially that could explain why we're seeing this go the way that it is. But anyway, the B play now is going to be underway as Team Infused just going hurtling on in. Robin's there as he gets 2 with the AK. They keep on pushing him. He's still alive on the site. Boaster comes in from the rotate, is able to get 1. Jacob comes in with 1 as well. And, well, Robin completes it for the hat-trick there to hold down that site. And, you know, him not going down in the early stages there was pivotal to CAZ Esports. Of course, it just allowed him to keep delaying the push from Team Infused. They couldn't get out onto the site. He allowed for the rotate to come in and bought them more than enough time to deny any sort of opportunities there. I mean, if he'd fallen straight away, would have been a completely different story. They would have got onto the site, potentially could have even taken the round once that bomb goes down. I mean, it's unlikely, but it would have given them a hell of a lot of opportunity to do it. Courtesy of that plant, no, courtesy of that eco round, Team Infused, they're going to be able to go into this with a buy. Weber picks up the AWP, but it's already doing justice for him. He does find 1 under Robin. Pulse down towards Ivy, finds 1 of his own on a Cryptic, so it is going to go into a 3-on-5 with a 2-man advantage, leading the way of Team Infused. And this is probably the best start we've seen them have, actually.
Yeah, definitely one of the strongest, and potentially the one that we're going to be seeing work out for them, because wherever they go at this point, they are going to be having the numbers advantage. You can see CAZ trying to play reactive CS. You can see them trying to take the aggressive angle, push up a little bit further, and try and cause, well, any disruption they can. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work out. They get caught out early, and it gets left in a situation where Chak has the M4 to work with, but not a whole lot else. He has the kit, so there's going to be a little bit of time once that bomb goes down, but in a 1 versus 4, what can he do? The answer ends up being nothing at all as he gets caught jumping into Pop Dog. So we're seeing a little bit of a pattern emerge here, Harry. We've seen 4-1, 4-1. If we see CAZ continue that and manage to land the reset, then there are going to be problems, because obviously Infused have a little bit of money to buy into the next round with, but after that they are going to be looking a little barren. And It'd just give CAZ the perfect opportunity to continue with the dominance that we've seen them profess so far. And just put double digits on the board, which again is something extremely potent and something you can't count out. If they can get themselves to 10, as much as Infused Pistol Round could bring it back to close, if they find that and the pistol, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, it's one of these things where sometimes you just see CAZ, they go into this, they get so many rounds on the board, and I mean, it'll get to a point, obviously, where, you know, you don't, like you said, they get that pistol round, then they could easily run away with this. And it's a similar situation what we've seen quite a bit, actually, through a lot of stages of this competition, where teams, they get these huge advantages at the start, to the point where a pistol round is all it's going to take for them to be on the, you know, teetering on the edge of victory. Jacob is going to start things off the right way for CAZ Esports, finding one onto Ivy, and that's going to put Pulse in this situation where he can't get the trade in, and as a result, he's probably going to have to fall back and just relinquish that pressure over towards Ivy, allow CAZ to kind of be a little more comfortable in their own skin. He's going to be able to stick around, though, thanks to that smoke, a little bit uncontested as well. So he's still exerting the pressure there for Team Infused. I do like the fact he didn't decide to fall back and not give that up, but the only issue is now is he's going to be facing off against Jake, and if he doesn't find it, he's going to get taken down, and now you lose 2 players down towards Ivy. So it is going to go 3 on 5 here. The rest of Team Infused making their way out onto the A site. And, well, Connor landing a nice shot there up on a Boaster. Chat comes in with a trade to maintain that 2-man advantage towards CAZ. Boost coming in as well in Connector. And, well, in the blink of an eye, Team Infused, they get completely cut down by Cryptix and Jacob there. The duo team over towards A. And, I mean, you know, I gotta say, I feel a little bit bad for the guys over towards B. They don't really see that much action.
No, but I mean, when they do, they step up. Obviously, we touched on Robin in an earlier round where he's there solo. He's going to be holding off for the perfect amount of time, and the rotates do come in fast. So maybe that's why we're not seeing a whole lot of it. Maybe Infused just don't favor that site. And honestly, I'd say at some point they're going to have to start going there because A has not been successful for them so far. Yes, they might have found a couple of rounds there, but you got to say 9-2. Those couple of rounds could be luck more than anything. It's just not enough consistency, and it's not going to be fun. And look at it, even when it looks like they have a chance to find themselves a frag, even when it looks like they have a chance to start something, it's not going to be happening. Boaster with a USP manages to hold on. Mighty Max is going to be trying to do something with a Tech 9, but Aaron's the only other man alive, and he has a Glock. Still, he manages to find a frag, but he drops straight afterwards. And Mighty Max, although he finds the AWP shot on Jack, he's just given away his position. 2 frags for him at the moment, 2 more frags that he needs to find the bomb all the way across towards Team Main. And just how's he going to be making this push work? He doesn't have utility, he doesn't have time, he doesn't have the position, and they know exactly where he is. Extremely unfortunate for him, but it's just an impossible thing to do. So he loses the AWP, he loses the round, and we see CAZ break double digits, 10-2, and they don't look like they need to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, CAZ Esports, they're looking almost, you know, uncontrollable here by Team Infused. They're definitely the ones setting the pace. They're in control of how the map goes, and Team Infused having to play off that. Aaron, though, trying to change things up, actually, as he goes hurtling out of A-Main, managing to pick up 1. Pulse comes in with one of his own as well. It's going to go a 2-man advantage in favor of Team Infused here. Robin is going to get taken down as well, and now it's all going to fall into Cryptix and Boast here. Cryptix stuck between a rock and a hard place as the rest of Team Infused out towards the A site are going to be causing some problems. And well, I mean, it was Weber trying to put the pressure on, but he actually falls back, and now he's having to go help out his teammate, who's going to be left alone over towards the site. That's going to be Connor. And well, he's got the remaining CAZ Esports players closing in from all angles here. Cryptix and Boaster going to be the remaining 2 CTs left alive for CAZ Esports as they're trying to maintain control of that A site, but at this point the jig is up. They know that bomb's heading over towards B. They're already rotating in through CT spawn. Connor's going to try and beat him to it. Now he should get a good amount of information off of this play, and well, he's going to get 1. I don't think they saw that coming as Cryptix gets taken down. Boaster's too far behind to get the trade in, and it's going to fall into a 1 versus 2 now. He's peeking this angle close. Connor is going to get tagged down at 27 HP, but Boaster doesn't come off lightly either. And well, all they have to do is trade right now. Team Infused, providing they don't do anything too stupid, they should be able to take this one. And well, it's going to be no problem for Connor as he just plays the angle on the train almost flawlessly. And they managed to get their 3rd round on the board. It's going to go 10-3 with a 7-round advantage the way of CAZ Esports. So, I mean, you know, Team Infused, they're doing well to get the odd round on the board, but, I mean, they need more for when they go into their CT side.
Well, yeah, they do need more, and as well as that, you would be saying CT when you're a mix is one of the harder things to pull off. If CAZ know this map, and CAZ do know this map, they're going to be in some trouble. At least this round, though, they should be having a little bit easier at times. They're going to be up against pistols, and you can already see that coming into effect. Already the advantage going the way of Infused. Something we've not seen a lot, but Boaster from behind manages to put the brakes on just a little bit. Takes out Aaron. Looks like he might be finding Pulse as well. It doesn't end up happening in the end, but it's still showing CAZ are a dangerous team. They don't do, well, they don't do enough to win the round, but they do damage. 3 frags gone, or 3 players down, and Connor and Weber are left holding onto their AKs going, what happened? We don't have the economy to sustain these losses, and it means that, well, had it been a bit earlier, they would be in big trouble. As it's the last round, we are going to be seeing them come into it all guns blazing, but the same can be said for CAZ. The only thing missing for these guys is the AWP, and honestly, I still think we can see them be a huge danger without it, because it hasn't been probably the most effective weapon for them. If they can push it to 11 here, they're in a great place, and honestly, it's going to be very difficult for Infused to get back into this if they don't manage to take that pistol right off the bat.
Yeah, no, they are going to be put in a very, very challenging position. If they take this round, then, you know, they do get that 2-round buffer, even if CAZ Esports win the pistol round, which would be handy. As it stands, they've still got the 1-round buffer, which I like to see at least. I mean, 4 rounds, I would say, is the bare minimum you want to get playing aside, no matter the map. But, yeah, it's going to go 10-4 as we now we are in the final round of the first half, round 15, and well, Team Infused making their way in towards that B side. We haven't seen them hit it too much on full buys, if at all, actually, aside from when they rotate in off of A. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on here. They do leave Connor over towards A to try and make some noise, perhaps catch the rotators off guard as he does push out towards that first train. Smoke's going down as well over towards the B site now to cover the push out here. Connor does get tucked down to 78 over towards A, but he's keeping the players over there for CAZ Esports, which is exactly what his job description says he has to do. Rest of his team now are going to be setting up for that B play. Robin's the only one here to hold this off. The rotate's going to come in from Jack, actually, from that connector area. He's trying to play very fluidly between the 2 sites. And, well, as the flashes go in, it's looking like it's actually going to be a fake over towards B. And, well, it looks like it's pulling off as you do see Boaster rotate off of that A site. Now he's playing into connector, so they've got him marginally out of position. Cryptic trying to do all he can. All the way down from Ivy. Isn't able to find anyone just yet, but Boaster comes in. He picks up 2. Jack gets 1 as well from connector. And 1 now the rotate's going to be underway. Connor is going to be the last hope for Team Infused, but 4 seconds left. He's got to make something happen. And, well, when you're up against 3 CAZ Esports players, there just wasn't enough time. And there were not enough men on the Team Infused side to make that play work.
I'm lost for words, Harry. Why did they not go beyond that last round? Why would you not go beyond that last round?
I know, yeah, it would have worked out well for them.
Yeah, every time they've hit A, they've run into problems, bar a very few select rounds where they might have got lucky. That one, it looked like it was going to be the same, and obviously they were trying to fake it. Obviously they were trying to change something on the A site, but as soon as they get there, there's still that vision. The rotates are so quick that CAZ don't have to move initially. Robin's telling them there's nobody pushing through, and so why would they leave it? That's only if we don't see CAZ manage to find the second. And obviously, as Mark mentioned earlier, and as we saw in the finals of the Masters, they are quite good at finding themselves that second round on the eco. So, I don't know. I wouldn't call it over for CAZ for the first 3 rounds, even if we see them lose this one. But obviously, there is still a lot to be played. And to start things off, it is going to be Weber and Robin having a little bit of a staring match. And a lot of pressure being put on the A site early on.
Yeah, Weber getting taken down in the early stages, as is Mighty Max and Pulses. Jack and Boaster do some work to get the CAZ Esports side out onto that A site, and while Team Infused is just getting dropped left and right, and it's all going to fall into Aaron here, the lone B player, as he tries to come in and make something work. He's unable to do so. Jack, Robin and Boaster going huge in that round for their team are going to secure the 12th round on the board, and they do take the first round of the second half as well, which should allow them to take this to a 14-4 scoreline. No questions asked. Team Infused, they're going to be force buying into this, as you would expect. Eagles across Mighty Max and Pulse, and, well, sadly, they're not really going to get much work out of them if they're going to be playing these long angles, as CAZ Esports just go charging in towards that B site. You got 4 players here. They do leave, I believe that's Jacob behind to try and watch any aggressive plays from A and watch that rotate. Potentially he could spot out Connor here, but the push is going to be underway over towards the B site. 2 players to hold this off. It's going to be Aaron and Pulse, and, well, they're going to be getting just ramrodded from all sides. Robin comes in, he gets 1. Aaron is unable to pick up the trade. Jack chimes in with 1 of his own. It's going to go with a 2-man advantage towards Team Infused now as the rotates coming in from B site. Mighty Max with the Deagle at long range is able to pick off 1. That's a little bit of damage done. Jacob still playing that behind angle, plays 1 on O'Connor. Now it's going to go 2-on-4, but Pulse, look at this positioning. He's pushed so far up, but they've got the crossfire. Mighty Max and Pulse, they might be able to make something work here, but as Mighty Max gets taken down as well, Pulse is going to have his head taken clean off by Jacob there. And, well, I mean, it almost looked promising with them there towards the end as it went into that 2-on-3. Pulse had a fairly good position. He had the deagle, but, you know, it just wasn't a match for the MAC-10s and the SMGs at close range.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, when Pulse was out, the deagle and the flash went off, 2 of them completely blind. He had the perfect angle to just rush in, find himself at least 1 of the frags. Most likely 2 of the frags, and he couldn't pick up either. Unfortunately, things like that are going to be costing you rounds, and potentially costing them the game as CAZ do look to pick up both of the conversions after the pistol. This round, Robin just runs straight into the A site. No respect, no mercy. Shuts down 2 of them. Cryptix comes in with the follow-up on the Mac. Not Mac 7, the MP7. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. That's
how long have you been casting Counter-Strike for, Brod? Tell me that.
Day and a half. And it's going to be Pulse's left with the CZ. And really no chance of getting a huge amount of anything done. Jacob does go down, but that's only going to secure him a Mac 10. Make sure I get that one right, which honestly just is not even worth holding on to.
I mean, I don't know. It has got the Neon Rider skin on it, which, as everyone knows, is the nicest skin in the game. So, of course, it means it does an extra 10 points of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Robin finds him with a nice crisp headshot there to take him down, and 14-4 to CAZ Esports. Now 1 round away from that oh-so-critical map point. And that would allow them to take it to 1-1, and we would move on to map number 3. CAZ Esports here. They're going to be grabbing that AWP on Jacob. We've seen him do some fantastic things with it. No AWP over on the Team Infused side. Money is going to be very, very tight as we go into this round. Pulse is going to be the solo B anchor, and the rest of his team actually playing over towards A. So, you know, nice setup there. But Jacob is going to completely deny that, you know, extra man over towards the A side by taking down Weber, giving CAZ Esports a 1-man advantage very early on and putting that AWP to great use to get the opening pick. That's going to weaken that A site so much. And as a result, Pulse also loses the rotator as they shift Connor out of connector now to go and cover Ivy, which was meant to be Weber's position. So not only is it weakened the defense on the A side, but also, you know, inadvertently it's affected that defense over towards the B. The rotate's going to be a hell of a lot slower now. And, well, now let's see how CAZ Esports can capitalize on this.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we've seen them with the advantage, they have sort of managed to come through. They've managed to look extremely strong, and they've made it work. And you can see they're just going to be hitting this A site full force. Aaron's in the position to shut them down, and he is going to have to do work. Fortunately, he manages to find himself 2, but Cryptix and Chat come right back with 2 of their own. Aaron and Connor now are cleared up, and it's Pulse and Mighty Max left to see what they can get done. Mighty Max on top of the train is going to be finding himself 1. But that still leaves evens, and it still leaves CAZ in a position where this round can quite easily go their way. They've got the bomb down. They have the positional advantage. All they have to do is make sure they shut down whoever's going for the defuse. As well as that, there's not even kit. So as it becomes Mighty Max as the last man left alive, you've got to admit, match point is looking almost inevitable here. What's he going to do? And honestly, it's so unnecessary. At the beginning of this round, that really annoyed me because essentially Weber gave Jacob the position in Ivy.
Yeah, he didn't need to peek there. And when you give a player like Jacob that Ivy positioning, and not only just Jacob, but, you know, all of CAZ Esports, they took Ivy. There was no contention for them in A main or Pop Dog. They were playing very passively on site after that early pick. So you've given them 3 angles of attacking that A site, and it just completely opened it up. And like you say, it was an unnecessary peek. I mean, if you're peeking for information, Weber, you know, maybe like even like a singular flash could have made all the difference then. I mean, but regardless, there was no need to even play for that information. You didn't need it that early on in the round.
That's the thing, is that you either hold the angle or you leave it alone. You don't want to go for that peek when you know that they're on the other side waiting for you, or they could well be. And as you said, a flash could have made all the difference. But this round, maybe we're going to be seeing Infused come back into it. Pulse starts things off with the Mag 7. Yes, it is the Mag 7 this time, and what a weapon to see make a difference in a round. That's going to be giving them the advantage right off the bat, and it means that we're going to be seeing Mighty Max. Sorry, not Mighty Max. It means we're going to be seeing sort of the weaker weapons potentially in with a shot. Jacob, Chak, and Boaster are left, but 3 versus 4 is still going to be a difficulty, and especially if they try and hit this A site, they're going to be running into man after man after man.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, you know, they're already, they do have that man advantage, and, you know, Team Infused, potentially they could look to taking their 5th round on the board. But, I mean, even if they do it, it's too little too late, in my opinion. You know, you've let CAZ Esports get to map point, and this is a reoccurring trend. Teams keep getting to this, you know, 15 and, you know, single-digit number scoreline. And it's really, really hard for the CT side Team Infused now to come back from this. But it is going to go into a 4-on-3. And currently very little information as to where that bomb is going to be playing. Aaron over towards B is going to be the only one there as he does get taken down. And well, now Jacob, Shaq, and Boaster are going to be the last 3 left alive for CAZ Esports to try and hold on to this. Getting that kill as well over on Aaron over towards that B site does allow that bomb to go down with no congestion, no pressure. And now post-plant positions are being set up by the CAZ Esports team. And as a result, they are looking fairly strong into this. The retake is already well and truly underway. But Shaq with a really nice one-tap there on O'Connor to start things off. As Weber and Mighty Max, they do actually manage to take down both Boaster and Jacob over towards the site. So maybe a little bit of an error there. Molotov's going to come in, though. Mighty Max get roasted. 1G's in chat, boys. And now it's going to be one-on-one. And well, sadly, they're out of time. Weber, you're not able to do it. You just have to die a martyr, I'm afraid. He goes down with the bomb. And as he falls, so does the hope for Team Infused on this map. It's going to go 16-4. And well, what a way for this map to end them.